A very good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on Midday Live. My name is Nanikia Mensah Bapa, and coming up this afternoon, BNI releases AVN's employee who was detained for allegedly taking and leaking pictures of some bulletproof vehicles for use by the president. Also in the bulletin this afternoon, body of self-imposed military bodyguard of late Ebony begins 40-day sentencing in military custody. And later on the foreign front, an Israeli F-16 fighter jet has crashed amid Syrian anti-craft fire after an offensive against Iranian targets in Syria. All right, so we have the detail of these, including the latest in sports and entertainment, all in the next hour. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us, and we go to the detail now of our stories. Remember, you can also stay interactive with us on our social media platforms. Facebook is TV3 Ghana, Twitter is TV3_Ghana. Beginning with this afternoon, the military high command has taken delivery of the body of the soldier who died in the accident together with Ebony. The remains of the soldier, Achuvonde, will face court-martial in the Ghana Armed Forces. Well, that is what the Ghana Armed Forces is saying. And Lance Corporal Francis Achuvonde of the Ghana Air Force, stationed in the Accra Air Force Base in Bema Camp, was not officially deployed for the bodyguard duties, the Armed Forces have stated. The 29-year-old officer was traveling with Ebony when he died in the jeep which crashed with a VIP bus Thursday night on the Sunyani-Kumasi Highway while returning to Accra from Sunyani in the Bono-Afo region. Now, the Military High Command has taken delivery of the body, which has been deposited at the 37 Military Hospital morgue. Sources within the Ghana Armed Forces say their laws and status make room for punishments for bodies of deceased officers who sneak out on duty, wear their uniforms to perform other unofficial duties. After a court-martial, possible punishments could include losing service entitlements as well as insurance packages. I saw my colleague Salom Amenya was at the 37 Military Hospital earlier in the morning at the morgue, and he joins us in studio for more on this. Hello, Salom. Good to have you here this afternoon.
Thank you.
You were at 37 morgue earlier. What did you see?
Well, the information we have gathered is that the body of Achuvonde actually arrived at 8:30 p.m. yesterday night, and quickly his attire, boots, and the rest were taken away by the military. And I am told that the clothes are under arrest, but with the body, they did not disclose what has happened to the body. And other information that we have gathered is that he is actually a leading aircraft man. Okay. And his mother unit is at the Takoradi Air Force, where he was at the fire section. And he came to Accra on a course at where they call the S of TT. And this is a place where they train the force men on aircraft and the rest. And they just ended their course last week. And they went to his room at a place they call Jubilee House in Accra here. And evidence shows that he has this link with the musician, that is Ebony, because there were some lyrics and the rest that they've written that shows that they've done some collaborations together. Even the Mamisha track, it looks like he bagged her in a way, but because of his profession, he couldn't come out to actually be in the video. So it shows that there's been this close link between the musician and Achu.
Okay, Solom, I'll come back to you quite shortly, but I understand we have Major Boachi Jan also joining us. He is a retired AFRC member, joins us on the phone to also look into this matter. Good afternoon to you, Major, and we are grateful for your time.
Good afternoon.
Now, regarding the sanctions placed or to be placed by the military, what will be the implications for the action of the Lance Corporal in this case?
If the facts are as assembled to me, the first thing that comes to mind, they say he can be charged with the offense of absence without leave, AWOL, because he was not on an assigned duty. That's number one. That's the first line of attack. But you could go on AWOL and be caught and brought back. The offense, the charge will be less. But when you get involved in a situation where there's a terminal killed in action illegally, that also attracts different level of sanction. That's what I make out. Because if considering the hardship that will be left to the wife and children, if he has any, and if he's just a trained man, aircraft man, as you're calling, the loss of earnings, the loss of any returns from training, is what they will take into account. But if it's a senior officer, which I don't believe will commit that kind of mistake, you see. So, all in all, there could be a charge of absence without leave against him.
Okay. Now, Major, that's established. If he is to face the marshal, will he have a legal representation, as in if you're alive and you have that legal representation, though he is no more? Is that possible?
Yeah. If that is not allowed, it will not constitute a court martial.
Okay. Because
the panel at least must have somebody with a rank at his level or above. Otherwise, it will be an invalid assembly of court martial. So the conditions must be met, but it is the punishment, and that would be determined by the facts of the case. You understand?
Right. And if there is, of course, a punishment, can the family pursue mitigation of a sentence, if any, comes in the process?
Well, they can, but it depends upon what they are fighting against. If, for instance, it's clearly established that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, what are you going to fight? The military law says that you cannot be a war absence without leave. Now, if that is established, end of the matter, period. But if it's not established, then you can fight it, you see.
Then one would want to find out about the issue of discipline in the military with this action taken by the Lance Corporal. Can it be questioned in this case?
Who? The Lance Corporal?
Yes, please.
But he is dead now.
I know, but I'm talking about the issue of discipline generally in the military.
Oh, no. It's an individual matter. Some people will take risks with their lives, others will not. You see, there are two types of people that we manage. Some are self-disciplined, right? Others will have to have discipline imposed on them. There are always these two groups of people that we manage. So you have to find out which one is what, which one. You cannot legislate discipline for all of them and you achieve it. No, it's not going to happen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We are so grateful for your time, Major Retired Boachi Jan, who is a retired AFRC member, joining us to look at the implications of the actions of the late Major Retired Vonde. But my colleague Salom Amenya is still here in the studio. I'll be wrapping up with him. Salom, did you manage to get any reactions from the family regarding the sanctions by the military on their son?
Well, for now, they don't want to talk about that. But we came across some colleagues of the late Achu Vonde who have been hitting the gym with him. And we are set to actually speak to them on camera around 5 p.m. But you could see they are devastated by the loss.
We are grateful for your time. I'm sure there will be more in subsequent reports on this particular matter. Solomon Menya is our reporter who was earlier at the 37 Military Hospital morgue. But, well, another sad incident here, not for Ghana, but for Media Journal. TV3 has lost its Northern Regional Correspondent, Zakaria Abdul Kadir. He died on February 8, 2018 at the Tamale Teaching Hospital following a short illness. Now, the late Zakaria had been with TV3 for over 16 years. He undertook many compelling stories for the station, many of which compelled authorities in the northern region to take action. Born in Yendi, the late Zakaria attended the Ghana Institute of Journalism. He also taught at the Ghana Senior High School. Ghana's tributes have been pouring in for the late Zakaria, including that of the Northern Regional Branch of the Ghana Journalists Association, the GJA. Now, the association described the late Zakaria as hardworking, and TV3 expresses its condolences to the entire family, friends, and loved ones, and since been buried. So one of our headline stories now, the Bureau of National Investigations, the BNI, has released the man who was arrested for allegedly taking and leaking pictures of some bulletproof vehicles procured by the Mahama-led government for the presidency prior to the end of his tenure. Been picked up by the BNI for taking pictures of the vehicles and circulating same on social media. Abraham, who works with AVN at the Kotoka International Airport in Accra, left home for work Tuesday and he never returned. A brother of Andy said when the wife of the missing man called AVN, she was told by some of his colleagues that he has been picked up by the BNI for taking pictures of government vehicles which arrived at the Kotoka International Airport and sent it to a radio station. And still on the matter, Bibi, the wife of the AVN employee, narrated the whole story to TV3 on Friday.
We couldn't see him again since Tuesday morning. He took the case to school around 7:30, and he said from there he will be going out. So around 9 o'clock, he gave me a call that he has been invited that he should come to work. Tuesday was his off days, so he was not supposed to go to work. But sometimes when they are short of staffs, they call them to come to replace those who are not well or maybe assigned to other duties. So it was, I asked, so are you going with that dress? He said, oh, he will be okay. So around 9, he went. So from 11 something, he told me that when he got to the office, it was a different thing. That it was about this car issue, which was presidential car issue moving around. So he said he was needed at BNI for questionings, and I said, okay. So we were thinking that he would go and come back in the evening. So around 7, I was trying his line, it wasn't going through. I said, what is happening? So I called his junior brother, he's also at Ghana Airport. And I asked him that what is going on? And he said, he also called him that he has been invited to come to BNI. So early morning, he also went to Ghana Airport Police Station to report the issue. When he got there, they said that issue was above them. Ghana Airport Police Station, they said it was above them, so they can't handle that case. So he had to go to BNI. When he got to the gates, he was told that he mentioned his name and they said there's no one like that over there. He said with his team, they were those who worked on the car on Sunday. He was on duty on Sunday, and the flight that brought the cars, he was supposed to work with his team on that flight, but he didn't tell me anything about taking photos or even videoing. But on Tuesday morning, when those issues started coming, I said, I worked on this car because he said they were those who worked on it. So he doesn't understand what is going on. That is all that he said. And I heard, but I wasn't even aware that he worked on that flight to bring the cars out. He didn't tell me anything about it.
Right, so that was BB, the wife of the AVN employee who was in BNI custody. We understand that he has been released and his lawyers are following closely on the matter, but his mobile phones are yet to be given to him. But that is what is in subsequent bulletins. We'll be telling you more. Let's move on to some other stories this afternoon. Management of the National Service Scheme is set to roll out a paperless registration and deployment process for this year's service. Now, the acting executive director of the National Service Scheme, Yusuf Mustafa, said the new process would help in addressing the issue of fraud, which has been affecting the scheme's smooth operation for years.
Registration as well as postings of students through the National Service Scheme has been fraught with challenges, with many blaming the scheme for not upgrading its systems to avert the long queues and stresses many students go through during registration period. As part of efforts to minimize human intervention, errors and inconsistencies in data reporting and analysis, the National Service Scheme NSS has organized a stakeholder conference with all tertiary institutions across the country. The conference afforded the NSS a platform to discuss challenges associated with process of registration of students eligible for service, process of deployment, as well as improve on the scheme's databases for effective posting. The NSS is going paperless to help strengthen the scheme's database to ensure stress-free, convenient registration and deployment of service personnel for the 2018-2019 service year and beyond.
There were a lot of challenges with the registration process. So most of the security checks that we normally do manually, where we have to then cross-check your ID, we have to cross-check your personality to see that you are the real person that we are posting. This year we have hooked up our system to the central database system, where at the point of enrollment, you are expected to enroll using your ID so that you will even be cross-checked before we post you.
The acting executive director of the National Service Secretariat, Yusuf Mustafa, advised prospective national service personnel to acquire a national identity card in order to facilitate smooth registration for the 2018-2019 service year. He added that the issue of fake appointment and posting letters have also been addressed with the inclusion of QR codes which can be used to verify authentic NSS letters.
The national IDs are available for every Ghanaian to possess one. So there is no excuse. Okay, once you are going to give room for excuses, you will find a lot of people compromising on our database. This year, 2018-2019 service year, each and every service personnel is supposed to have an ID so that you'll be able to enroll, because we need to strengthen and clean our database.
A board member, Dr. Kinsley Nyakun, maintained the online process will help to check challenges such as late submission of class lists by institutions.
The survival and the success of the scheme and its deployment depends largely on the quality of the data. If we provide data of inferior quality, we are endangering the survival of the scheme.
The scheme will soon hold a forum for user agencies nationwide.
On to security now. Government is to rehabilitate all police stations across the country to standardize the infrastructure by close of 2018. Now, government has also given approval for the recruitment of 4,000 police personnel this year. These were contained in a speech read on behalf of the President by his Vice Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia at the commissioning of the course 47 of the Police Academy here in Accra.
This year, we are undertaking the rehabilitation of police stations across the country to standardize the infrastructure. We aim to build a robust, effective, efficient, and disciplined police force. The policy on law and order is to focus on more proactive and preventive policing rather than reactive. We will do so by increasing both visibility and capacity. Our program is to recruit 4,000 more police personnel. We know that what matters most is not the number of police officers we recruit, but the number of officers we deploy and how effectively they are deployed. We are improving the data analytics of the service to make policing more efficient and alive to modern trends in crime.
And on health, government has signed a $600 million agreement with Tambay Group, based in the United Arab Emirates, to build a medical university here in the country. Now, the university, when completed in the next 6 years, is expected to recruit 3,000 skilled medical officers to provide healthcare. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is confident the agreement will strengthen cooperation with the Gulf state.
The agreement is a follow-up to the Vice President's visit to the United Arab Emirates in November last year. During his visit, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia interacted with the Chief Executive Officer of the Tambay Group. During his visit, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia interacted with the Chief Executive Officer of the Tambay Group for a medical university where the deal was struck. 3 months on, the CEO of Tambay Group and the government of Ghana have signed a $600 million agreement to build the university. The university will also incorporate a 300-capacity medical center to offer health care at affordable cost. Part of the $600 million would be spent in procuring education materials and improving aviation in the country. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia expressed satisfaction about the project.
This MOU, which is towards the establishment of this Gulf Medical University, is very, very important in that direction. And I know that land has already been identified, and the government is willing to do what it is going to take. The building is about 5 to 8 years, I hear, to finish everything. But we are in a hurry, so let's see how we can progress it.
The CEO of the Tambay Group, Tambay Mundine, spoke about other investment opportunities.
We are going to build a laboratory, we are going to build a pharmacy, we are going to build coffee shops, we are going to build restaurants to serve the hospital. We are going to run transport to transport students, staff. So it's going to affect the economy in a big way. Yeah.
Ghana's Consular General to the United Arab Emirates, Hajia Samata Gifty Bukari, underscored the relevance of the project in addressing unemployment in Ghana.
It's going to create employment for our young doctors who are being trained now in many of our universities, and also give us proper medical care.
And in more news this afternoon, residents of Sebreport in the Katamanso district of the Greater Accra region have expressed worry about lack of street lights. Now, they lamented they don't feel safe following constant attacks and robberies in the area at night.
Sebreport is one of the newly developed communities in Katamanso district. It has a population of about 7,000, which also share borders with Santor and Oyibi. Residents say they have been neglected when it comes to development, as they lack several amenities like good roads and access to potable water. Topmost of their concern was the lack of streetlights, which have exposed residents to constant robbery attacks at night.
They owe it to us. We pay streetlight, don't we? So at least if that can be given us, we can walk on the street without fear. Because lately there have been a couple of attacks and we don't know who is next.
In fact, we are insecure here. There are a lot of things that are happening here, and now everybody is afraid. Nobody can even sleep anymore.
As part of efforts to support the town, 3FM and Onya FM, both sister radio stations of TV3 Network Limited, have come to the aid of the residents. The two radio stations launched a radio campaign, Let There Be Light, to support and light areas where streetlights are not available in the country. The donation of 6 streetlights and poles to the people of Sebreport is the first since the campaign started. Group Head of Corporate Affairs of Media General, Richard Ahiagbile, promised of more social interventions for needy communities.
We're quite happy that today we'll be able to make the dreams of Sebreport come to reality by donating these lights to them. We also want to take this opportunity to appeal to the general public, to companies that are involved in lighting to come to support this initiative. Let's light up every community, let's light up all the streets in our communities and make our country safe for each and every one.
The leader of the Residents Association of Sibrepo, Florence Asiedu, was appreciative of the gesture.
20 years, no, for TV3, I'm sure about Bibri, and see Adamasi. Say, be able to say, I don't know more, you know, a real. If I say how it is a Dubai. Your street kid to where be a figure should be so a call me fee. Say, a honor, your friend will near close.
You're watching Midday Live, coming to you from the News Hub. Looking at some stories gone by, BNI has released AVN Employee who was detained, and body of self-imposed military bodyguard of late Ebony begins 40-day sentencing in military custody. We return with more. This is Midday Live. Thanks for staying with us. The Registrar General's Department has rolled out an electronic queue management system to reduce the turnaround time for registering businesses. The new initiative is also expected to assist business owners to register their businesses within 20 minutes.
The Electronic Queue Management System, EQMS, is to augment the existing process of registering businesses. The system allows those registering their businesses to receive a ticket from Registrar General to facilitate their work. This new initiative is to reduce the cost of doing business and improve on turnaround time. It's expected to address challenges associated with the middlemen popularly called Goro Boys. Registrar General Jemima Oware said a new policy being developed by the department will seek to suspend staff who assist Goro Boys to do business people.
We have a policy guideline in place with sanctions. You'll be suspended if you have to be suspended, because all members of staff are aware that things are changing. You cannot, carry on registering businesses for people. It has to come through the front office. Whoever job is being done by you, you cannot now leave your desk to come and stand in the queue and have your own document of somebody vetted. No.
The electronic queue management system is to incorporate systems of other government agencies who issue licenses to businesses.
SNIT is also going to be there, with the officials are there. They will also capture whatever needs to be captured. And with that, you go to the bank, pay, and you leave it there. You do not need to pick your documents and come to the back office and come and look for lawyers or approvers who you should not really be seeing.
The Registrar General's Department said it introduced this new initiative to assist government improve on the business climate. According to the 2018 World Bank report, Ghana dropped by 2 basis points behind Botswana and other African countries in terms of doing business. The Registrar General, Jemima Oware, said these initiatives will improve the situation.
Ease of doing business will also be applied in this case, because you would not need to leave our office and now go to maybe SNIT or AMA or any other places where you receive a license or a permit to do business.
The electronic queue management system is to be fully operational by Monday, February 12.
Let's turn our attention to the Ashanti region, where furniture producers in Kumasi are protesting what they claim to be astronomical increase in production materials. In the past 2 months alone, foam used for product manufacturing has seen over 100% increments. The angry wood processors fear imminent collapse of their businesses if government does not intervene. Ibrahim Abubakar has more.
Well, some wood workers at Oforikom here in Kumasi protesting against what they describe to be astronomical increase in material for production of their chairs and other furnitures. We have some of their leaders, they are saying that the increase is affecting their business and it has the tendency of collapsing their business if the government does not take immediate steps to resolve this. What are your main concerns?
Our problem is the foam prices. 1.5. First, I will take 1.5. it was 28 Ghana cedis. Now it's 66 Ghana cedis. The difference, 38 cedis, more than 100%. We can't buy it. Seed foam, we call some seed foam. It was 150. Now it's 315 Ghana cedis. You see the difference? We can't buy. They are collapsing our business. They were here to produce foam, not to make furniture. But now they are making it. I don't know whether they want to destroy us. They want to destroy us. And we are appealing to the government, Titu, especially Nanado, to come in our aid.
What do you intend to do if your concerns are not addressed?
We will go further. Next time it will be high demonstration. Nationwide. The nationwide. We gather now as town is here. So far light, they are here. Next time it will be the nationwide. But we know they will do something. That's why we are appealing.
Also, concerns,
I'm my concern is say, Ajumaya Belmuno. Na form no ne boa ne wo form na bloni ne buy us we increase the price na call 66 na ye yente ase every 66 no the kwa na so bi so e be share adwuma ni e bo price na onte ase obedwun se bi kura ne ye ebunu na so na ente sa se wante sa form no so a yeso ye be bre pa every se nipa no kura no se ne yanka se oji 20 million na ne de 1 million na se watu sa no onya hwin free so esa yesu ye nya bi fan to adwane ne ye ya boy for oh yesu adwuma o ye masters for enti aba sa na masters for no so mo ma yeska tusi ni ya fa ya hwe some people buy yesu a wasa ji aboso ade ya me ya kura ne se form no oye yo no so sa so abie company oh ye nkonya kogu wo na wo beji adwuma aboso wo bro no furu kura ma beji adwuma aboso na se ye ne etia ne ye de ye wo enti ye se na ya ka chene na do se o ma no hu me so no fighting amaye say ye Ghana for ye betina say ama bloni abeti ye nyama ina akwa eni ati ha say ye den
ye ne ye stuffing adwuma no ye bre papa awo fom ho bloni na to fom ma edwin ho enti ase akwan afa so to fom no ogu aban ne num ase afi say ye ko ka chere so onte so ma ya o say akofo adokra mpo e ba ka chere so onte so bloni no nsam ade o the empany for ni mu twufom akoya afaso ne kasa ye no ye ntiase ye tumi fam na ye enhye nsam anti ye kasa afa ahomatrofo so afa mfidie so manako na nado ho na na akofo do mesra meka tie ye hwedom agua bebrebe ye nya adwuma they say ye adwuma say.
Well, Ibrahim Abubakar there with that report from Kumasi. But we return shortly with sports. Yalfusulabi will join us. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. On the foreign front this afternoon, an Israeli F-16 fighter jet has crashed amid Syrian anti-aircraft fire after an offensive against Iranian targets in Syria, the Israeli military says. The two pilots parachuted to safety before the crash in northern Israel. It is believed to be the first time Israel has lost a jet in the Syrian conflict. Israel was carrying out strikes after the launch of an Iranian drone into Israel. The drone was intercepted. Syria accused Israel of aggression as Israel then launched more strikes. Now, Israel Defense Forces tweeted, moments ago, IAF aircraft targeted the Syrian aerial defense system. Iranian targets in Syria, 12 targets including 3 aerial defense batteries. 4 Iranian military targets were attacked. Anti-aircraft missiles were fired towards Israel, triggering alarms in northern Israel. We have entertainment news now.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
And the late dancehall songstress Ebony has been tipped by many as a potential winner of the upcoming VGMA Artist of the Year. The singer's father, Nana Pokukwate, is the latest to wade into the topic. He thinks her daughter deserves to be posthumously awarded the VGMA Artist of the Year.
It's the hope of many that she's crowned Artist of the Year. VGMA is just around the corner.
Nobody could have doubted that, because I could hear that there was some group saying that if Ebony is not crowned, they were not going to accept that in good faith. It was obvious. You and I know, I believe you know too well about the fact that Ebony deserved that award. So that is it. To be disappointed if it doesn't come. Highly, if you ask me, highly disappointed.
Well, so the sensational dancehall songstress Ebony grew up in Dansoman in Accra, and some neighbors of her family house in Dansoman have been speaking to TV3.
Shoki mi penasem pa ni danfo ni mi ba e boni nyum e wo mi ho so mi timi se na wo so ni tu sa na mi wo so mi penasem no hu wa oni usre oni uju sa na ni papa nsuti etimi ti ya mi nya shock pa
go nyina na e wo area ha ni brother kwatin o ya mi body pa nti always e fia na nyina e wo na be asem we I'm watching obi frame wo phone so bomb man there no I'm up to now man bi man no ankasa krampo I hobby a chemi no mama e basa na wo hu se ma be choke mi hu a me gina no mi hu ni ame ye krampo na enye bia ye nkwa na ye wa ha ya lose no e ti se Ghana fo nyina na lo ya lose ade temi mi hu ni ame ka krampo
je bono ye ni pa boni bia o ye ni papa me free. The Ebasa, me, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to mean. I found
we are now open at 7 up.
Ebony. Oh, Ebony, dear, Massa. Me whom Jamaica. Me whom Jamaica. Cry. If you had me baha every day, ne papa say, me baha, de bia, a grabia or be a me a wet until a grabia be a minute. The Ebony, dear me. I don't suspect say about this idea, you know, maybe Sabaton.
Now, penning almost.
None over there. Who made him you? Who made him you? Who made him you? Or my name is who made him you? Name Juma dear, and the unknown pan of papa.
Ebony Rains, may her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. That will do for the bulletin this afternoon. Let's look at some stories gone by, and the BNI has released AVN's employee who was detained for allegedly taking and leaking pictures of some bulletproof vehicles for use by the president. Also, body of self-imposed military bodyguard of late Ebony begins 40-day sentencing in military custody. And on the foreign front, an Israeli F-16 fighter jet has crashed amid Syrian anti-aircraft fire after an offensive against Iranian targets in Syria. There's more news on our website. It's 3news.com. That will do for Midday Live. My name is Nanikia Mensa Brampa. Have a good afternoon and enjoy your weekend.